Today I've got a special deck that we are playing for Christmas. It is a Santa Claus turbo deck using the skill to power of all creation that allows us to search Santa Claus when we go second or whenever our opponent has a monster. So you can just directly grab him from your deck if you don't have it already in your hand, or if you do, you can just summon the Primal Dragons to make rank 4s, links, or just make a really big 10,000 dragon, which is our main way of actually winning the game. Let's quickly go over the cards in case you want to build this silly deck. With one copy of 10,000 dragon, you can play more, but one is enough. Free Santa Claus to get rid of your opponent's monsters. Free Primal Dragon, which works really well with the skill, and 2 copies of Card of the Soul that is able to search Primal Dragon because their stats add up to 4k, and also it's a spell for the striker spells. We're playing 1 copy of Fall of Albaz because when we go first, we can make a couple of spheres, and then spheres can bounce a card and then summon the Albaz from deck, and then Albaz can fuse with your opponent's monster to make Albion, and Albion can make either Borreload Furious or Predaplan Dragostopelia. But usually you really want to go second because this entire deck is made for going second. For the spells, we're playing free Engaged to search anything that we need. We have 2 Widow Anchors, free Jamming Waves to pop back row, 1 Afterburners to pop monsters, and 1 Ego Booster to protect our monsters, especially when we go first to use it on Sphere mode. Because otherwise your opponent can really easily just remove it with a card effect. That's it for the main deck. For the extra deck, we're playing the Albaz Fusions. We're also playing a bunch of rank 4s, Tornado Dragon, Utility Ray Lancer to deal damage, Abyss Dweller to shut off grave artifacts before we make the 10,000 dragon. Dragon Gluon is a card that you can send with your skill because it is a dragon monster with 3,000 attack and defense. So if you send this to the graveyard with your skill, you can banish it with Primal Dragon and it will become 5k attack and defense, which is just enough for you to tribute with the 10,000 dragon. 1 copy of Castell, and finally a copy of Heavenly Spheres. The skill we're playing is Power of All Creation, which is the skill that allows us to search anything. So as long as your opponent has a monster, you can just use it to either grab your Santa Claus or summon a bunch of Primal Dragons to make extra deck monsters with. So let's have a look at some replays. Okay, we have our first replay, and I should mention, even though it's probably very obvious, that this is not a very good deck. It is a funny haha meme deck for Christmas, and don't expect to win a lot of games if you're actually playing this build. You can modify some cards and make this basically remove all the Santa Claus and play more Sky Striker spells to make this kind of a more of a Sky Striker deck that has a 10,000 dragon engine, and then that's pretty good. But this version with Santa Claus is not good. It has no game plan going first other than Spheres Pass, and it also isn't very consistent. So we're gonna tribute our opponent's monsters with Santa Claus. We should probably get rid of our back row before we make the Santa Claus, but I kind of misplay, but that should still be okay as long as we still have enough interruptions to get rid of our opponent's monster. And also, Quietus is really annoying because it makes our monsters attack 0, which means we can't go for game, but we can just pop it and get rid of it before we make the 10,000 dragon. And because he placed a monster in attack position, that allows us to basically just make a 10,000 dragon and attack it for game. So we're gonna normal summon the Primal Dragon, banish the Gluon from grave, make it 5k attack and defense, tribute a 10,000 dragon on top of it, and then just attack for game. Okay, game 2, we're going second again, and yeah. Opponent's playing Princess Adina, and they're using the skill. Yep. They're gonna get a free Mystical Elf, and then use the skill to draw a card. Review that they're playing Tenyi, which is actually pretty interesting because Mystical Elf is of course a normal monster, so that can facilitate the effects of all the Tenyis. Even though Tenyis aren't a very good deck themselves, it's interesting to see what the deck is able to do. It's actually Tenyi Sword Soul, which is deck that isn't good in Duel Links just because we have skills that make Sword Soul good on its own, but still a pretty interesting concept that our opponent is playing. He's gonna link off the Synchro because he can just bring it back. Yugi's gonna go Moye, reveal a Worm, and then Synchro summon a copy of a Draco Berserker. And then he's gonna Moye draw a card. Shaman can bring back the Synchro that he used as link material, and then you just grab the field spell, activate the field spell, and then pass turn with 2 set cards. We should be able to do break through our opponent's board, especially because in his board, the Link doesn't do anything, the Mystical Elf doesn't do anything, and spells can pop 2 cards if you have 3 spells in the graveyard. So we can still pop the Link because we have enough things to use to get rid of one's points of interaction. And because we negated the Chi Xiao, there's no more interactions left on his board, so we can just make a 10,000 dragon, and then he realizes that he is dead, so he's just gonna scoop. Okay, our last replay, we're going second again, which is really good because that's what our deck is made to do. We do open 10,000 dragon again, which is honestly not that bad, even though we already have a card of the soul which does the same thing. Our opponent is playing some weird deck, a mashup of a bunch of weird stuff. He's gonna grab Imperm, which is pretty funny, but we'll see what he's doing. He's actually playing BES, which is a deck that completely gets countered by Santa Claus because he has a single monster that has a quick effect. I guess another one if you count Our Mirage, but that doesn't really do anything. But basically he only has one single monster that can pop cards multiple times, so we can just basically grab a Santa Claus using our skill and then just get rid of the BS and we just win the game. And speaking of Santa Claus, we just drew it. And that means we don't even need to use our skill to grab the Santa Claus. We can just immediately get rid of his BS and he has 0 interruptions left and he will be scooping. Alright, that's it. Okay, bye.